Hello and welcome to another episode of Elf Army Reviews. Today I am talking about Stardust by Neil Gaiman. This is very much a fairy tale for older kids, adults, teenagers. Tristan Thorn promises the girl he likes that he's going to go fetch a star for her, but in order to do so he has to cross the wall into the land of the fairies. And he comes upon the star, and it turns out the star is not a hunk of rock, as a meteor is, because it was a falling star. The star is a woman named Yvain.
I suppose I should mention that there's also people chasing Yvain because of the thing that knocked her out of the sky, and there's also a witch chasing her to try and cut out her heart.
There was a movie made from this book. The movie was rated PG-13. I would say that this book would be about 10 or 11. It has a grand total of 1 curse word and 1 questionably adult scene, but it's not that explicit. So depending on your kid or you or whatever. I love this book. I saw the movie first before I read it. The movie was 2.5 hours long, which is pretty long for a movie. I loved it. It was so good. And it was actually pretty much the same as the book. The only things different in the movie were things that you pretty much have to change to make a good movie, because there's differences between a good book and a good movie. This is a good book. The movie is a good movie. Okay, this is going to spoil the end, but it's what fairy tale isn't predictable? So I don't really think it matters that much that I'm reading it to you. If you have a problem with it, go away. Tristan and Yvain were happy together, not forever after, for Time the thief eventually takes all things into his dusty storehouse, but they were happy, as these things go, for a long while. And then Death came in the night and whispered her secret into the ear of the 82nd Lord of Stormhold, and he nodded his grey head, and he said nothing more, and his people took his remains to the Hall of Ancestors, where they lie to this day. And I thought that was very beautifully written. Actually, I would say that I enjoyed the movie more than the book, but not because there's anything wrong with the book, because it's a very good movie, so I highly recommend both of them, especially if you like fairy tales. It looks thick, but it's actually a very fast read. The print isn't very small, and the pages just sort of fall away. So that's Stardust by Neil Gaiman, 10 or 11 depending on the person in question. 4 stars just because it wasn't my favorite book ever, but it was still a very, very, very good book. I'm very picky about my 5-star ratings. Recommended to everyone, fairy tale genre. Next time here on Elf Army Reviews, I will be talking about Love is the Higher Law by David Levithan. I've read some things by David Levithan, mainly Will Grayson and Boy Meets Boy, and I enjoyed both of those very much. So I'm looking forward to it. See you next time. Peace, but not really.